What's up guys, that got the pencil here, and yes, you read the title correctly. You are seeing the proper broadcast, and I am doing this battle. And the answer may surprise you. So let's go over Sora, Donald, and Goofy from the series Kingdom Hearts versus the entire 7 Deadly Sins universe. Yes, all at the same time, they are not running a gauntlet. In terms of pure power, when Sora, Donald, and Goofy are lowballed, they're multiplanetary. Respected, they're multiversal. Now, how? Well, they went head-to-head with Xehanort, but not just Xehanort. Xehanort is empowered by the true Keyblade, wielding the power of Kingdom Hearts itself. They survived hits from and damaged this Xehanort. Now, Kingdom Hearts is the origin and the creator of the entire Realm of Light and Realm of Darkness. Now, the Kingdom Hearts Realm of Light is said to contain countless, uncountable worlds. The size of worlds, quotation marks, has always been debated. They're bare minimum planets, but they're most likely individual universes. There are multiple Disney movies featured within the Kingdom Hearts world, many of them taking place on Earth, such as Toy Story, Tarzan, Mulan, so on and so forth. However, they're all individual worlds rather than a unified planet, all happening at the same time. Which is fine, that could imply that they're all individual solar systems or something of the sort. However, what implies they're larger, more likely universe-sized, is that they all take place in unique time periods and unique versions of Earth, while all being the same planet, which seems to dictate that the worlds have their own time flows in separate spaces. Also, on top of this, in deep space, the Grand Councilwoman is said to govern over her entire universe, but since he's a member of a world and has no access to the lanes between, the only way to travel between worlds outside darkness corridors by the time of birth by sleep, it's likely that her world contains an actual universe. And it's likely that every other world is a universe, as characters such as Riku, even in Dream Drop Distance, straight up admit that it's not really uncommon for every single world to have its own unique time space and for there to be unique versions of that world within that world itself. So it's very, very likely that each world is universe-sized, and there are countless worlds, more like countless universes, and Kingdom Hearts is the source of all those countless worlds. And Xehanort wielded that power against Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and they put up a fight and then won. So together, they're able to fight against a person who is wielding the power of countless planets at a low ball, possibly countless solar systems at a mid ball, and likely countless universes, when respected. For their speed, lowballed, massively faster than light. Respected, they break the speed equation. For the lowballed speed, they scale drastically above characters like Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, who use light beams. They also scale above characters like Aqua, Terra, and Ventus, all of these characters who are able to fight against Monstro, who can move and attack faster than gummy ships, which are able to travel between various worlds in minutes while these worlds are living in the same unique galaxy, while lowballed to just be planets. Let's just say that. They could be traveling between entire time spaces, but that gets way too wonky to try and discuss in terms of calculating speed, because then you have to figure out, well, what's the difference in distance between multiple time spaces. It's a mess. So we're just gonna act like they're all individual solar systems in one galaxy. Even still, that's casually, massively fast and light. All these beings are able to fight them, and actually Sora, Donald, and Goofy scale above beings able to fight Monstro. For even more proof that they're massively fast and light, they casually scale above KH2 Sora and KH2 Riku, who are able to fight empowered Xemnas, a Xemnas who was empowered by a fractured version of Kingdom Hearts. By upscaling drastically from all those already massively beyond light speed characters and even further, they scale directly to this Xehanort, who scales above characters like Aqua, Riku, King Mickey, and Roxas, all of whom can move in the realm of darkness. Now, the reason this is impressive is because there is no time in the realm of darkness, yet they are still able to move in no time. Absolutely no time. So, in short, they literally break the speed equation. It's a level that is insane speed-wise, even just trying to understand, not to talk of quantify. This puts them at irrelevant speed, which is even further beyond massively fast and light, since they literally break the speed equation. And for those wondering if that's consistent, yeah, it is, because to even create the Keyblade requires a higher dimensional clash, and the beings that created the Keyblade were Sora and the fellow Guardians of Light, implying that they are all higher dimensional beings clashing with each other. Higher dimension typically means they're approaching 4th dimensional, possibly higher, considering a lot of hearts within the series just completely negate time, being able to travel through it completely at will, which just sort of just snaps them, speed-wise. But once again, we're getting really, really complex, and we honestly don't even need to go that deep, because let's get into their techniques. Let's just move on from this point. For their techniques, Goofy is just a physical combatant. He spins, he smacks, he throws, he attacks, and he slides on a shield. Donald is one with the more different spells, like Fire, Thunder, Blizzard, Cure, Arrow. Overall, just a nice set of coverage and healing, along with a few hacks thrown in there for good measure. Sora is the real monstrous powerhouse here. Even in just Kingdom Hearts 3, where he has a rather limited spell list, he has all the abilities Donald has, plus the ability to just fire out light beams, and he can even transform to not only have his health and magic restored, but enhance himself drastically depending on the Keyblade he's wielding. Now, I would, in depth, go over the 7 Deadly Sins first, but I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to, because they just get absolutely slaughtered. Dead serious, there's nothing I can do to possibly get them anywhere near this level of power and speed. Even if I were to wank the verse beyond belief power-wise, and argue that Gloxinia and Dolor creating an alternate timeline is a solid universal feat, and then we upscale from there, the end of series Sins, the Demon King and Supreme Deity, and the entire Chaos family is not countlessly above that. In terms of speed, you wanna know what the biggest issue is? I'm still multiplying with, numbers. Meanwhile, the Kingdom Hearts characters are chilling in upper levels of dimensions, moving around beyond time itself by moving around in a realm with no time at all, where they literally shouldn't be able to move. So there's that. Even if I were to give the 7 Deadly Sins this one feat right here, or say that Bon is the one who crosses an infinite realm in Purgatory, and he does that in a limited time period, you know what that implies? That there's time. And you know what? The main issue with their, being time is that Kingdom Hearts characters don't need time to move. They can kind of just stroll around the realm of darkness and then realize that Sora, Donald, and Goofy specifically drastically scale above characters who are able to move in the realm of darkness. So, there's that in terms of speed, and that's literally the best I can think of in terms of if I'm giving Taizai every last benefit of every last dot I can give, even if I try to go power wise, let's say that. Let's say I try to give 7 Deadly Sins the complete, I just completely ignore things. So I've been getting a lot in the comment section that a lot of people believe that the Demon World and Purgatory are the exact same place. And honestly, I don't blame y'all. I thought they're the exact same place too. However, the only issue with that is that not only does Meliodas never mention demons when he's explaining Purgatory to Bon, not only does Merlin, the character who is needing to send Meliodas and Elizabeth to the Demon World, not just use the Hawk portal that she sent Bon through, which sent Bon to Purgatory, not the Demon World. Not only does all that happen, but it's literally stated right here that the two are completely separate places. And Hawk literally just says, "Oh no, Meliodas, I don't want to go to the Demon World. I'm going to go to Purgatory." And say Hawk was wrong, because Hawk doesn't know everything. Meliodas doesn't correct him. They're two separate places. It's annoying, yes, because a lot of people's main argument for them being the same place is that, oh, well, they have to be the same place because the Demon King's there. And, the entire point of Purgatory is that it's just the Demon World. There we go. Yeah, no, they're similar in aspects, but they're not the same place. Think about it. The Demon King wouldn't really mind being sealed in his own realm. Demons would have been mentioned. Meliodas would have corrected Hawk and say, "Oh no, you're just coming to the Demon World with me anyway." They're not the same place. They're just not. And while I'm willing to give Taizai all the respect it deserves, I need to actually give it respect with things that are in the series, so I can't go out of my way and just be wrong on things that are presented in the series. The two are implied multiple times to be different places. The only thing you're missing is an outright direct statement that they're not the same place, and even still, you got something really, really close to that. If you still think they're the same place, okay, let's do that. Let's use that fallacy. So you have one infinite realm, and the Demon King, arguably number 4 or 5 in the verse. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, by the way. I need to actually sit down and think about that, because let me think. True Magic Meliodas, Chaos Cath, Chaos Arthur, Chaos. Yeah. So let's say number 5 in the verse. You got infinite. One infinite realm. Yeah. Countless worlds in the realm of light. And Xehanort is wielding that power himself. And the sad thing is that not a lot of characters scale to the Demon King in 7 Deadly Sins. You have True Magic Meliodas. You have likely Final Shine, the one ultimate Escanor. And then you have on top of that the Supreme Deity and the Chaos family. So even still, using that one bit, power-wise, they don't match up. Speed, they don't match up. And honestly, even if I were to go into their hexes, let's say, well, would love affect Sora, Donald, or Goofy? No. At least not Sora. Sadly enough, the man doesn't have any hate in his heart. That's one of the main problems I have with Sora as a character. No hate in his heart. So it's unlikely that he's going to be stopped by love. And the chances of Sora turning his back on Zeldris are very, very low, because Zeldris is going to die. Every single Kingdom Hearts character. No, I said that wrong. Every single 7 Deadly Sins character is going to simply die when Sora, Donald, or Goofy graze them. Because let's be real. Even if I gave that fallacy, Kingdom Hearts characters still arguably scale above that, because that's one separate time space that I would have to give to the Demon King. Meanwhile, Kingdom Hearts has countless separate time spaces in only one of their infinite realms. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy fought the guy, who wields the power to destroy all that and recreate it in his own image. And true Keyblade Xehanort. So even if I gave 7 Deadly Sins that fallacy, it doesn't work out. They get murdered. Like, there's nothing I can argue in the favor, because even the more likely scenario, because here's where I logically put the 7 Deadly Sins verse. The peak I can give it is solar system level, and that's stretching with some assumptions. These solar system level characters, let's say Chaos is like 10 times stronger than the Supreme Deity and the Demon King. That's literally just a number I'm throwing out there. Still limited, because 10 times solar system level isn't even approaching the lowballed universal that Sora, Donald, and Goofy would be. And 7 Deadly Sins verse just gets slapped. I have no nice way to say it, and guess what? If I do an equal stats battle, it's the exact reverse, because then Sora, Donald, and Goofy get stomped, because at least in Kingdom Hearts 3, they don't necessarily have the hacks to stop the 7 Deadly Sins verse, if the 7 Deadly Sins verse is given equal power and speed. So this is one of those battles where it's literally a flip-flop. If I don't equalize, an entire verse dies. If I do equalize, 3 characters die. There's that. Now, if you're wondering if Sora, Donald, and Goofy would kill in character, oh yeah, you saw what they did to the organization. You saw how Sora beat the life out of Riku. You saw what Sora did to Ansem, Xemnas, Xehanort. He smacked them up in a heartbeat. He didn't care. So all these random people he doesn't know about that are all fighting to kill him, he's definitely going for the murder. And if it's not Sora, Donald is. Donald don't care. Donald's the royal court magician. He'll slap everybody in the verse for fun. And even, like, that's the thing. Sadly, Goofy could likely solo the verse. You don't know how much it pains me, yet how much joy it brings me to say that. Kingdom Hearts Goofy could likely solo the entire 7 Deadly Sins universe. He could probably solo a couple verses if I'm being completely honest. I may do that. That may be a series. Yeah, I actually will do that. I'm going to make a series of singular characters that wipe entire verses just to show the importance of power cliffing. Because power cliffing is a crazy thing when it comes to versus battles, and I want to actually talk about that. That's going to be a fun thing. But that's where the end of this video is going to be. I know y'all weren't expecting this, but I told y'all in my last versus battle I was doing something for me. This is the one for me. And quickly explain, battle's over. I gave you the results, I gave you the evidence. If you want to refute me, I mean, sure, I don't really mind. I'll see you in the comment section. That's always fun to talk about. But to be honest, the reason I did this video is 2 reasons. I was looking over my channel, and I was just like, wow, you know, I've been giving 7 Deadly Sins a lot of respect. I've been giving it a lot of hype. That's very, very good. But however, I do need some balance. I do need to show where 7 Deadly Sins loses. That's not the most powerful thing out there, because it really isn't. It's very far from the most powerful fiction out there, by like a long shot. So I figured this was a good way to do it. And I also really wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts and versus battles. So I figured this is a nice way to forcefully, gently introduce you to the fact that I'm going to be doing that in the future, bit by bit, slowly, a little bit at a time. So get ready for some drip-fed Kingdom Hearts battles coming along, inverse, out of verse. It's time, because I also am a massive Kingdom Hearts fan, and I'm tired of the downplay of one of my favorite series, just like I was tired of the downplay for 7 Deadly Sins. So you're definitely going to be getting some battles with Kingdom Hearts. Hope you're ready. If you guys please could like, share, comment, and subscribe, it always helps your boy out, always gives me motivation. Please do so. And honestly, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with a pencil writing off.